Hello, Joko Podcast listeners, and welcome back to another episode. Before we get into today's episode, we would like to say Happy New Year to everyone who is listening, to our Joko family. We hope that you all had a restful break and are excited for the new year. So today's episode, we have a guest with us. We'll let her introduce herself in just a little bit, but we are going to be talking about Baabel, the TV show by Marodi TV. It runs on YouTube, and there's so many of you who are listening who have reached out or individually have reached out to one of the three of us here on the episode today, talking about the latest episode. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this episode of Joko. And with that, I will let my guest introduce herself.
Hi everyone, it's Kady Fall. Thank you for having me. Was I supposed to have a bio?
You said it's Kady Fall like everyone knows who you are. You don't have to have a bio, but you can tell people a little bit about yourself maybe.
Sure. I just moved to New York and I just received my master's degree. Yay to me. And right now I'm a teacher. That's a good one. I am a teacher.
What did you get your master's in?
I got my master's degree in creative and innovative education.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank
Congrats.
And thank you for joining us in this episode. We are excited because Baabel, who wants to start?
you.
I can go ahead. Layla Cham took it too far. And what pissed me off about her character, because we have to always, let's speak to these people as characters, because Senegal every time we watch shows, we start to like think these people, we combine who they are as people with their character. So we're talking about their character, not the actor who plays Layla Cham. But my issue with Layla is, and I guess with women who have gone through what she's gone through in general, is that they always focus all of their energy and their hate and their vitriol against other women. Even if Fa did what they are blaming her for doing, even if it was 100% of her, there's a limit to how far your revenge should go. Like, okay, get your revenge. But what about Babaka? Can Legend do with Babaka? Nobody's trying to figure out where he is or hold him accountable for anything. So like the man who started all of this, because he's the one that broke her heart, is just living his best life. And then Fa is just getting everything put on her. So that's one thing I'm just like not about. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I 100% agree. She took it way too far. It's almost like devious, like it's very malicious, I should say, because it's like, I understand you think someone did something bad to you, but then you go and do something worse. And like, you're not holding up somebody accountable who is accountable for all of this. Not her at all.
Exactly. Like the payback is not equal to the crime, even if the crime like had been committed.
I could see if she had proof, but she's literally operating on assumption. And I know someone came and said that it was Fa who did it, but at least try to get some proof. Like, I don't know. I feel like she is taking it too far without even having any standing aside from word of mouth. But I agree with you, Adam. Even if Fa did it 100%, it's not necessary to continue to go after her the way that she is, in ways that are ruining her life way more than what she claims Fa ruined her life for.
And you're talking about proof. The only proof she has is based on what Nabu told her. Since when was Nabu a reliable source in that house? And that's one thing, like, is that making no sense to me? Is like, no one took Nabu seriously at all for like the first 24 episodes or however episodes. And then now Nabu makes this claim that's so severe, and that all of a sudden everybody like listens to her and like doesn't investigate what she's saying. Like that part too was like a little weird to me.
I think the problem with this whole show is just no one is interested in the facts. They just hear what someone says and they take it and run with it. And it's just like, how do you not try to get proof? It's common sense. You don't just hear something and go with it. You try to
Exactly.
investigate, and none of them do that.
The one who does that is I forget his name. Is the uncle that came? That's very
Ibnu?
like Frankified. he's
Ibnu
he's the
Cham?
one. Yeah, he's the one that cares about the facts, but nobody takes him seriously.
But how do you make a good point? Like no one asks questions, and that actually is one of the first things that I wrote down when we were like thinking about this episode is Khalil. I think he's the main person who does that in this series, and he's the most important one because he's the one who's married to Fa. So for him, how do we feel about his behavior overall? Where he hears something, and they did like nidamuna. He literally just goes and attacks his wife no matter what, and it's like you live in a big house, Kurgumak, so you know how things go. Why would you not take the time to ask questions and talk to your wife first before you accuse her of certain things? So I guess I just answered my own question, but how do you guys feel about Khalid?
I hate him. I mean, I hate his character. I should say, Adam. I should
Exactly.
say I hate his character because really, when that whole thing happened, I called my husband and I was like, I hate all men. And he's like, you every time you listen to a show, you come back and you bring it on me. I'm like, I don't care. All men are stupid.
He's definitely the weakest link on the show, and a man wrote his character. Like I don't know, maybe not. I don't know who the producers are for the show, but like his character is like popular enough in our culture that we see it in our households that it shocks us. But there's a lot of men who operate like him, where like they are so removed from what's going on in the day to day. Because every day Khalid has his little bag and goes to work. He doesn't know what's happening in the day to day, but yet he feels like he can just make a final decision based on however he feels, which is selfish, arrogant, irresponsible. And then what pisses me the most about him is when he be like pouring his heart out to Merry Christmas or whatever that girl's name is. Like, why do you feel the need to share your darkest secret with another woman? Why do you think that's okay?
Hadi and I were just talking about this yesterday. Like, can he please stop talking to Mary? I don't care how nice Mary is. I don't care how much she says she wants what's best for him. She wants him for herself. And if there's anything that anybody can tell you is you got to keep those problems between the two of you. You already live in a big house where everybody else is by proxy going to find out what's going on. But you're at work talking about your personal life like it's so normal. Even when he received that, like the screenshot or the message that like showed that Fa had got an abortion, which she didn't. But even when he received that in the office, he was having a whole tantrum talking about, come on, like, sir, you are in a professional environment. I need you to keep it down and I need you to take that outside. It was, he just, I don't like his character at all. He has anger management issues. He doesn't think, he doesn't reflect. I don't know how Fa got him or he got Fa, but they're a horrible couple together. The last thing they do is communicate.
Yes. Yes. And well, I even feel sometimes they communicate, but they don't like tell the story 100%. I feel like they tell 75 and they leave the other person to just guess the other 25. I just feel like, but if you just investigated a little bit more, you would have gotten the real answer. But for me, Halil, I think his main issue is like he wants to be deemed as like the Khalifa, and I think a lot of men make the same like what am I thinking of? The same issue mistake, the same mistake, and I think they think it's Khalifa as like a title, but it's like it's a way of life that you need to live. Like you need to just like think before you do anything. Like and like you have now someone that you need to be taken care of in your house. You're supposed to protect, and you just like don't do that. I feel like that's I don't know. I feel like that's a break in our relationship. I would not go back to him.
Same. Because what hurts the most, I think, is like if somebody catches you doing something and you did it, that's great. But if somebody gets mad at something that you know for a fact that you didn't do, and they keep making you feel bad and saying all of these terrible things and just like breaking your heart, even though you knew you didn't do it, that type of like frustration and anger would make me like walk away and never come back. And that's why I think when most of us, when we watch this, since we as an audience, we can see the truth, because the people in the show, the actors, they don't see what the audience see, obviously. Like, we know what the truth is, but like Fi just keeps getting, blamed for all sorts of things. So that's what makes us angry as viewers, because we can understand that frustration. And I think that you talk about Khalifa Hadi, but like the example of Khalifa that we have is Per Yuga, and I don't even think he is the perfect example, even though they try to make him seem like he's the best Khalifa, because he has all of the traits that would make a good Khalifa in Senegalese society. And the reason why I say that is that he never resolved the problems. He just pushed people forward. He kept telling people like, move forward, move forward. They never sat down and addressed the root of the problem. He was just trying to say that, hey, I'm your grandfather, I'm your father, listen to me. But that doesn't solve anything. And now we see it now. That's why it sort of gotten to this point. And his wife, even though she's kind of satanic a little bit, she was saying that. She was like, before you bring Fa to the house, make sure that Fa and Layla, their issue is resolved. So I don't think we don't have a single good example of Khalifa, I think, in the Marodi production, to be honest.
Not in the whole Marodi production. But I agree with you, Adam. I've always said since I started watching the show that Benjuga looks good, but he's not the example that we need to be going after, because his whole thing is like Benjuga, everybody stay in the house, everybody live together. But I feel like a true Khalifa would investigate the toxicity in the house and try to get to the root cause of it, like you were talking about, Adam, but also give people the freedom to make life choices that they would like to make as adults. I feel like he has all these male sons who are adults and have wives and children, but he wants them all to stay in the house. And we all know, like, living together is very, very hard. So when you have all these different personalities under one roof, some people are satanists, some people have good intentions. It's just not a good mix. So I feel like he needs to take a step back himself and recognize that maybe he's holding some people back from reaching their full potential. He maybe isn't fostering the positive environment that he truly thinks he is by keeping everyone together.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Bad Yuga, it's like you need to investigate. And being a Khalifa, I just feel like they just have the definition all wrong. And they all want to act like they are, and that's just what gets them in the worst situations. Like, you are never going to be able to come back from this. Like, you are going to be so tarah. Like, how do you come back from this?
But I feel like they are going to try to make him come back from it. Like, my thing is, they're going to try to make it seem like, oh, he just made a little mistake and Fa should forgive him. And I'm all for forgiveness. They're married at this point. It's better to resolve the relationship than to dissolve it. But at the end of the day, Fa really needs to take a step back and look at the characteristics that Khalil is showing. He's showing that he's not going to protect her when things go wrong. Like I mentioned earlier, he also has anger management issues. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there that maybe we should reevaluate this relationship.
I think that Khalil is a good example of Senegalese men in the diaspora. Remember, they came from France. Because what he's juggling too is he's trying so hard to like prove to himself and to his family that he's still like a Senegalese man. And he sort of perceives, and I'm not saying what he's perceiving is correct, but he perceives what's happening with Fa and his family as a threat to his Senegalese masculinity and his Senegalese identity. And maybe I'm overanalyzing it. Probably Marodi's not even thinking about it in this way, but this is my analysis of what I've been watching. Because you can see so hard that he wants to live Chikadgumak, even though if he were to move and live in an apartment, he probably could. There would be a little bit of pushback, but he could probably do that. He tries so hard to, I don't know if I'm speaking in circles. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. But I feel like that's where his sort of anger and resentment is coming from. Like every time that his brothers criticize him and say that, oh, since you've come to this house, there's been issues, or oh, you should have gone back to France. So I think like that's his issue. I don't know if what I said made sense.
I think it does. It's actually, it made me rethink. I was like, okay, I guess I could see his side, even though, like you said, it doesn't excuse anything that he did, but I could see where he feels like he needs to protect that masculinity that you're talking about. That Senegalese are just like, but what I still don't understand, I feel like if you're in love, say you're so in love with your significant other, and you live with this person 2 years, like 365 days twice, and you don't know this person, I feel like that's a break in trust. I feel like, how do you come back from that?
I actually was going to ask you guys a question regarding Fa's responsibility in all of this. I believe she has some responsibility. I think sometimes she tries to play that perfect wife role too much, where it backfires. The first example I can think of is when they went to the courthouse to sign, and she was talking all that mess about he can do whatever, and she trusts herself. Like, okay, I even was able to get past that. But I think the moving into the big family house, the kurufami thing, is something that should have been thought through a little bit more. I understand she wants to please her husband, and I hear what you guys are saying about Khalid also trying to juggle those two identities that he has. But I feel like sometimes Fa tries to be the perfect wife instead of just like admitting that she's a human being and that like the situation isn't perfect.
Absolutely. I think I agree. She does have some responsibility because you can't, I feel like she tries to take away, honestly, she's taking away too much of herself. Like she's compromising too much. And it's like, you need to speak up, I feel like. And is also, stop, this is not, whatever you have this idea of being a perfect wife and kurgumak, like that still doesn't take away from like your human being.
Exactly. And there were lots of moments where she just was quiet. Like when they found the Bitilu Safira to be, she was just like, they found it. She had a look of shock in her face, but she didn't say anything. And then when she got caught about to slap, what's her name? Hadi Cham. She didn't do it, but like it looked suspect, but she didn't say anything. Like every time she got in a mess that she did not do, she always kept quiet and never opened her mouth and defended herself. And I thought that was weird. And then when things were happening, she never sat down with Khalil to let him know as things were happening. Even though Khalil didn't even make the space to listen, is like they both never sat down, because if you tell someone something, then they'll sort of understand how a certain event materialized. Like had Khalil opened up the door of conversation, what happened with Layla at her birthday party would have not been a surprise, because he would have already known that she is out to get his wife. But since that type of conversation never happened, he's just over there trying to interpret what he sees instead of understanding his wife's interpretation of events, which is extremely disheartening. Like you guys were saying earlier, which I don't understand what kind of relationship this is if you don't even know how your wife is living in the household. Holly does not care what Fa is going through in the house. All he cares about is the reactions of his family members. So I don't understand anymore. Like, who is his loyalty to? Who does he really care for? It's giving selfish to me, to be honest.
It is giving selfish, and it's giving dumb too. It's like you act like you don't know what the possibilities could be, Like, for example, when Fa cooked and they had, I think they put what was it, salt in the food, and everybody ate and were making those faces, and Fa just got up and left. Like you said, she didn't even try to explain what was going on. Like, say I didn't do it. It's just so simple. I don't know. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but I would just be like, I didn't do that. Like,
Exactly. Like, why would you just get up and walk away?
yeah, she just got up and walked away. And then Khalil came into the room and was comforting her as if she did indeed mess up and he just understood. It's like there was no communication on that, in that instance of I didn't do this, or him saying, I know this wasn't you. It was kind of just like, oh, you just messed up this meal, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like, no, that's not what happened. So the two of them, they're in La La Land for real.
Absolutely. I think we talk about our share, like being the person that's so doesn't defend herself, but Fat Bintou does the exact same thing. Like, at no point does she ever try to defend herself. Even just within this last episode of like him showing her that, I don't know, did she say that she didn't do it? It's like, speak up. Or like, where did you get this from? Like, who, like, invest. I don't know.
Yeah. She just stood there looking stupid. Like, girl, be like, what is this?
Girl, yes. Like staring at us with them Bambi eyes.
Exactly. You're right, the Bambi eyes. The person did casting did really well because, yeah, she fits the role. I listened to the podcast that y'all did in the Jeune Maman Podcast when you guys talked about Baabel, and you guys were talking about kurgumat and whether it's like something that makes sense for 2023. I personally think that kurgumak in 2023 egal conflict. Like, there is no kurgumak without conflict or problems because jikko yi dañoo bari teg ci am bi dafa wute.
Yep.
Because before it's like everybody was earning the same amount of income,
Yeah.
living the same amount of life, but now you see like, and you see it in Baabel where maybe Khalil was able to travel, right, and that caused resentment with Sadiq. What's his name? I call him Sadiq. That's not his name. Sadiq.
Sadiq?
Sadiq. Sadiq like everyone. So then he's resenting Khalil because he was able to step away from the family business and go to France. So like those types of things we see in real life. It's like people don't earn the same amount of income, so then there's jealousy. Maybe one husband can do something for his wife that the other man can't do for his wife, so then he feels emasculated. So then now there's hostility. Maybe the children in the household too have hostility. It's like, I can't imagine no situation where that will go well for anybody. I don't know.
No.
Have you guys seen examples where it's like...
Absolutely not. I don't think I have. And I think it's like, okay, let's have a big house and let's just put everybody in here. Let's just all compete with each other. Everyone is in competition, I feel like. And it's, no one grows up in that this is like a good person. Just like, and we see it in the kids right now. Hadi, come on now. When I found out that Hadi is the person, or I don't know, potentially is the person, I'm just like, this whole family, no one in this family is okay. And it might be the result of living in a kurgumak. We have never actually thought about that.
No, I think so I was talking about the show with my husband, and he hates the show. He refuses to watch it. But sometimes I force him to watch little clips here and there. And he was saying that part of what happens is when you grow up in a kurgumak, it's normalized for you to see your aunts fighting with each other or being in competition with each other. So for you, it's not a big deal for you to engage in those same things. And that's what we're seeing with the kids in the house. They all were up for the buck exam. And here they go competing. Like low key, their moms were like, who got a better score? Who got, this and this and that. So I think it's toxicity all around. It's human nature to have natural competition. And when you have it amongst family members, I think it just brews bad blood. And eventually it's going to like spill over. I think, what do I think? I think it's a bad idea to live in a house that big with that many people, especially when you start forming new families. We talked about it in the episode, Hadi, where we were like, the interest of one family might not be the interest of another family. So what you want for your kids if that's in direct contrast with what somebody else wants for their kids, it's gonna cause problems in the household.
And the kids are also getting looped into the drama of their aunties and uncles. Like Layla recruited the kids to help with her little missions to get revenge. Like Hadi was over there worried about going to Canada, and now all of a sudden now she's part of the World War II that's happening in the house. Nabu
Yeah.
and her kids are like not focused on anything. And then what's her name? Our Sheikh's kids are sort of are, and then they're seen like you can't prevent them from hanging out with each other because they're cousins. Like all of that could have been avoided if everybody had their own apartment, had their privacy, especially as like newlyweds. It's so important for newlyweds to have their privacy and understand their relationship without everybody pitching in and explaining things. I feel like if, and maybe because I'm the only one that's unmarried here, really, in this discussion. But I think that if you are having conflict, it's so easy for someone who does not understand your relationship to meddle in and give you advice that's going to be more harmful than good. Because they don't know your partner, they don't know your history, they don't know your context. So all they see is that argument at face value. So they're going to
exactly
say something or do something that might even add more fuel to the fire. But if maybe you as a couple were able to resolve that thing privately without anybody knowing, perhaps as a couple you can move past that. And I think also that having all of those people meddle in can also, like, they'll always remember that conflict and not remember that you've moved past that conflict. And I see it too. It's like, for example, with your girlfriends, when one of your girlfriends argues with their boyfriend and they tell you something like crazy about that guy, even though they get back together, you might have a little bit of resentment for that guy because you learned about what he did to your friend, even though they've moved past it. But had you never heard that, maybe you wouldn't hold that against him. So that's why I think there are certain things that require privacy in the beginning that Kurguma will not allow you to sort of experience that. I don't know if that makes sense.
100%.
It does.
It makes sense 100%. And you don't need to be married to know that, Adam. Trust me. It's like sometimes some of these things are just common sense. Like the best piece of advice I got when I got married was to keep problems amongst us. Now, every couple has problems. Every couple has like small arguments and big arguments. I think it would be unsafe to, like, this is my personal opinion, it would be unsafe to completely isolate yourself once you get married to the point where you have no one to talk to, or you feel like you can't like debrief with people that you trust. Now, that being said, big issues, like some things you just need to keep private to your relationship. So I think you have to strike the right balance, but the overall like advice that I would give and that I think we're seeing play out in Baabel is having that intimacy and that privacy within your relationship is very important to maintaining the longevity of it. Because like you mentioned, if I come to my friend and I say this, oh, I can't say that on the podcast, this man did this, and that, then once we make up, and we probably will make up, now you're looking at me like, dang, here I was caping for you and you went back to him. But it's like a relationship, that's what happens in a relationship. There's ups and downs. You have problems, you resolve them, you work through them. When you're in the intimacy of your own home, it's much easier to do that without the judgment of people outside. And when you live in a kurgumak, in a family house, it's almost it's like near impossible to come back from certain things. Like what we just saw in the last episode, it's going to be hard for Khalil and Fa to come back from that because it was so bad. Like he showed up to the event that they were supposed to reconcile them and divorce her right then and there. Like, how do you come back from that?
Exactly. No sutra, no nothing. He's so upfront. Like you could have at least waited, do that fake reconciliation and pull her to the side, but in front of everybody, like he showed his ass that day.
He literally did. It was like humiliating. Like, like, how do you do that to someone? Also, can I just say, Layla too, how do you just have your own abortion and put someone else's name on the paper. Who does that?
No, she's crazy for that. She took it too far.
She's so wild.
I never could have seen that coming because here I was thinking, Legi Leila, I'm the local day sick. She got her own problems. Now she can stop worrying about other people. And she still found a way to make it about other people. I don't know where they're going with this. I hope obviously it's in a vindicating way. Like they're gonna have to eventually vindicate Fa and Khalil. But Layla, like yesterday, honestly, watching it, all I could see was pure ugliness in her. She's so evil. She's so mean.
The real villain is Babaka. Babaka Munek Italy. He's the one who cried. He started all of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you on that, Adam. I don't think so. You know why? Because he played her before. This is not the first time that Layla has gone through this with Babakar. So she should have been careful. I would have had to have you spend the night at my house. You, the imam, and your father spend the night at my house the day before the wedding to make sure this is actually going to happen. You know, she put too much.
But all of that, or like, it's like Babaka's the villain. You know why he's the villain? Because you could have, he's, like you said, they were together before. She didn't call him and tell him to come back. He came back on his own accord. He could have just let things be, let her live her life, and he move on. What was the point of this? He wasted everybody's time. True. He ruined everybody's life. What was the point? What was the reason?
But do you think that no, I have something to say. Do you think that he would have married her had someone not come and said something? So his intention in coming back wasn't to waste her time. It was just that he found out some information and he dealt with it the wrong way by just leaving.
And that makes him the villain.
That definitely makes him the villain.
Yeah, because why are you like? And this is another. Maybe we need to have another podcast about this because a lot of Senegalese men are cowards, and I know people are gonna listen to this podcast and fight me on it, but they're cowards because I've seen a lot of Senegalese men in the situation that Babaka has been in. Listen to their parents, not fight against their parents, but listen to their parents and watch the girl that they love walk away from their lives. And then when that girl gets married to somebody else, and then now they're just angry and miserable for their life because they listen to their parents. I see a lot of women defending their husbands, but not a lot of husbands defending their wives, or a lot of men defending their future wives or fiancés. The way that Senegalese mothers have their sons in a chokehold, the way that Senegalese fathers have their sons in a chokehold is fascinating to me because Senegalese men are supposed to be the authority figure in their marriage, but their parents have so much weight and sway over them. Maybe this is just my personal experience and what I've seen around me. Maybe y'all have seen something else.
No, it's
but based
true.
on what I've seen in my community that I've frequented,
we're living in the same community.
No backbone whatsoever.
Yeah, they are like that.
They definitely do not. Sorry, let me just stop.
No, it's like the girls are the ones who are speaking out for what they believe in, going tooth and nail with their moms and their dads. Man, what did Babaka's father said? I feel what he said, Bidil or something. I'm like, that's the reason why you go into Italy? Are you serious? I Bidil say Sarah, move on, move forward. That's the reason why you left Layla. Like, he's the villain. He didn't fight anything at all.
Right.
To be with the person he supposedly loved, right?
Right. And then you didn't even have the decency to tell her. You just packed your bag and left.
There you go.
You're like the grimiest, lowest man in the world.
That part. Didn't even tell her. Yep, that's why he's the villain.
Yeah, so we got our villain.
I got my villain right here. I had to take care of Fatima for a little second, but I was listening to what you guys were saying, and I agree. He is definitely a villain, but I think this show has so many villains. I think all the characters are villains, low-key, with the exception of like the Mariam and her family. Maybe her husband is a villain, but her and her son, they're cool. Even Mariam is a little Satana, but I'll let her.
Nabu, we forgot about Nabu.
Mariam was definitely Satana.
Nabu was harmless.
She is. No one in that house is not Ibnu. Ibnu might be the
Ibnu
only
need to
person.
be Ibnu need to be
Him.
institutionalized. But he's the most
Yes, I think
sane.
in this he's looked at the person who don't know what's going on, but really he got it right. Mind
He
your
said, "Nan ko
business.
logic before la neke."
But he's
Yes, I
right.
love Ibnu, man. His
He's right
eyes, the way
though.
he
He's
be
like linga
looking,
di neck fi
he is
di
right.
pull like di hair. I'm with logic. And that's what effective mind. That's what they need to do. Like they don't even know what they're arguing about at this point. Nobody knows what they're arguing about. Nobody knows why it went this far. They're just going, and then it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna get out of hand. Like Nobu in the beginning, she was like a harmless Satan there. Like everybody liked her. Like everybody was like, "This is the first Satan that we ever liked in the series." But now we seeing that her harmless behavior is no longer harmless. It sort of led to this mess that we have now.
Yeah, and just like a Senegalese woman, I don't even know. Well, maybe someone like her, she is now like, Tazuma said it. Girl, you already was in the like plan. So now that we executed, you don't get to like pull yourself out of that. You are an issue as well.
Exactly.
I think Nabu's character is interesting in a way that shows us that even though she's petty in the way that Wuju Petra can be sometimes, she still has a limit. She's like, I'm not gonna go that far as to like break two people up who are in love. And even though far is pretty far for her, like honestly, she's done a lot of bad things. I think her character is interesting in a way that she like juxtaposed against Layla. You would think that Nabu would be capable of doing something like this. So for Layla to do it and Nabu to be like, keep me out of this. This is way too far for me. I think that's interesting too.
Yes, I guess I can say I respect that. Because Layla, she don't have that. She just goes out into the wild and she just does whatever. She just has no
She's
stop sign at all. And that's
scorned and
scary.
bitter. I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Omar Cham really like? I think he obviously is like puzzled as to why she was in the maternity ward. Which, first of all, why do they think that if you go to the maternity ward in Senegal, that it's only because of pregnancy? Do people not go to the gynecologist just on a regular basis? I don't know. Anyways, that's for another episode. But do you think he like peep game? He knows what's going on, and he's gonna add two and two together and realize that Layla Tam was pregnant?
Because we know Omar Cham is not that smart, I think that it will have to be a situation where he will be forced to put two and two together. For him to just be like, well, somebody in Layla was at the clinic and I think she's pregnant. I think Nubble's gonna have to be sitting down and think they're gonna have a conversation about Nubble seeing her throwing up, him seeing her at the clinic, like, and then he's gonna be like, okay, I don't know, maybe somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's how he's gonna figure it out. I still don't believe he got his butt. I'm still waiting for like something in the
Oh my God,
episode.
I don't either. I don't think he got it.
I don't believe it. I don't think he did, and I think that's why he's so content. Well, not really content, but with just having
Exactly.
that mediocre job. Not saying that job is mediocre, but just like doing that because
I still
he
don't
didn't
believe it
pass nobody.
either. But I feel like the cat's gonna come out of the bag because the remember the doctor that gave her the referral to go to that gynecologist. He might say something, or the guy who's performing the procedure himself. He might say something. There's too many people involved for like the secret to come out somehow. But because Marodi, they have the same plot. They just like change the characters up every season. Like, oh, bad things happen, but then at the end, everybody gets vindicated, or like the truth comes out, and then the end.
Yeah, they do that. In which that brings me to say, ladies and gentlemen, Fat Bintu is not light skinned. And like they keep making the same reference. And it's like really, if y'all just thought about the fact that she's not light skinned, y'all would know that these things or people that's not her talk about Jigen Buhes Butaho. Like, how do you just
I caught
assume that that's your
too.
wife?
I peeped that too. I was like, am I the only one who thinks she's brown skinned? Maybe she's considered light skinned in Senegal. I don't know. I peeped that too. I was like, I
She's
was
definitely brown.
confused.
Definitely brown.
I feel like back to the Omar thing, everybody else in the family is gonna convene on this whole abortion thing. And then finally at the last minute, Omar's gonna be like, oh, yeah. By the way, that's how it's gonna come up. He's not smart enough to piece it together on his own. But I agree. Fabintu is definitely brown skinned. And why is it that in Senegal, that's how they characterize people? Like, Jigen bu gat the ñuul, xees te njool. Like, there has to be other descriptors to help people figure out what they're trying to figure out.
But
Especially when you go to like a city.
Mm-hmm. No, finish your thought, because that's where I was gonna go. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, like, it seems to be a thing that comes up often, especially when it comes to like sitting bulay Seattle or something like that, where they're like, Maitul Jigen bu xees bi te njool. It's like there's so many tall, light-skinned people or like short, dark-skinned people. I don't know.
And effective man, that's what happened with Mariam's husband. Remember when he was
Right?
saying that I'm the fool? I forget what description he used. Ko xam ne daf lay- Yeah.
He did. I think he said the same thing. Like, dafa xees te am taho.
Yep.
Like, that could be Muddy, first of all, because she's light skinned and she's just as tall and has jumbo. So you're not, like you said, I see, you need to be more descriptive. Big eyes, red wig. You need to talk about something. You need to give me more.
The wig.
Give me more. This is everybody I know.
Another part too about the abortion is that didn't the doctor say that Fa was supposedly raped? Didn't he say that? Or maybe I misheard that.
Yes.
So how come Khalil listens
Yes.
to Lolo? Why didn't Khalil
That
even think
went
about
over
that? Like,
Khalil's
do
head.
you love this woman? Like, I really, really don't understand, man. I'm like, because someone was saying this on TikTok. It's like, do men
I
really
don't
love
think
women?
his ears
Unfit
work.
because like your wife was supposedly like assaulted, and the first thing you do is divorce her. You don't try to understand that situation, that type of violence against your wife. That's weird.
Absolutely. Khalil also, actually, he might be worse than Omar because he also don't put two and two together. How is she taking birth control and now she's having an abortion? Please make it make sense. Like, that
Yes.
doesn't make sense at all.
And another thing that don't make sense is, how does Layla Cham know she's 5 weeks pregnant? Did the other doctor do a test on her and figure it out?
You know, Marodi is not concerned with the facts. Marodi does not care about the facts.
I need to know the facts. I also need to know. Wait, there was something I needed to know. What was it? Oh, the other doctor is in love with Layla, by the way.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think he loves her. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we're
Honestly, there for a second, honestly, I was thinking he was about to be like, I'll be the father to the
I
child.
thought so too. I thought he was going to say,
That's how in love he is.
oh, Lord. Baabel is a mess, you guys. It's a hot mess.
It is. And I must say, I don't really have a favorite character besides Jaburu Imambe. I like her. That's a punk. She don't play no games. I love her.
That would be your favorite character, but she is crazy. She walked in the house and she said, my thing is, you really brought that girl in there and just at the party. What party was it? The Buck party? Oh Lord, she was a hot mess. I do like her. I think she's direct.
Was.
You know, she's honest at least.
Because nobody else in the show is honest at all. But I must say, I think this episode rocked everybody's world, and I'm super excited about what's next. I can't wait. I already couldn't wait for this episode. I was on YouTube every day searching Baabel. I'm like, where is this episode? And then it came, and it just blew my mind. I was not expecting
they don't disappoint
it at
us.
all.
Because the problem with Marodi, they're not consistent. That's the problem. When things get good, Then they give you some weak ass
Very
plot
true.
at the end, and you're like, what? But
We need to write a letter right now asking them to not butcher the end. I hate a butchered finale or a butched finale, however you say it. Botched.
how do you guys think it's gonna end? I feel like they're gonna bring Babacar back. And then once Layla sees Babacar, her heart is gonna soften a little bit.
That's not what I want. I don't.
Me
That's
too.
not what I want, but that's what they're gonna do.
I thought I was the only one here. I thought I was the only one.
I don't ever want to see Babacar's face again.
If Babacar is a low paid actor, because you know Marodi don't pay their actors, so if he's an actor that's not demanding more money, he will definitely be back.
Adam Marodi is gonna come after you. They'll be like, "Who is this? He's coming after." I love it.
My thing is, if Babacar comes back and Layla Cham gives this man another chance, man, oh man, that won't make and twice, third time is not the charm here. Okay?
I think
So I don't like that ending.
I think unfortunately they're gonna make Fa pregnant, so that way the Fasanala is invalid, and they're gonna try to reconcile the two of them. I used to be a hopeless romantic. I feel like I'm not anymore because to me there's certain levels of disrespect, public disrespect, that you just do not go back to. Like the Baabel, the Cham family has shown that they don't really care about Fa Bintu. The fact that Fa had to come to the fact that Khalil did not send his brothers to pick up his wife. He's like, oh, give me another week because I have to make sure that she knows that I'm the Khalifa, and if I've been too soon, she's gonna like that BS narrative right there. I can't get behind. So then for her to come to terms with everything that's going on, and Yuga Cham and his kids to come and retrieve her, and then for Khalil to do what he did in front of everybody. I know, girl. Fatim also agrees. That's ridiculous to me. So I just can't. It's upsetting me and my homegirls. I hope that they don't end it on that note of like Fa being pregnant and Khalil and her reconciling and everything is fine, because everything is not fine. This family, there's a lot of things that are going on right now. It's generational. It's like it needs to be fixed, like at the core, and not just this specific scenario that they're going to try to brush over. I feel like they're going to try to brush over it too easily.
I think I can't think of any scenario that would be good here. Like any good scenario to me. Because even maybe I'm thinking Babakar's dad will recognize Hadi, and then all of that will blow up in their face, and then Fa's not gonna go back to him. I don't know, no, because Mugil, man, and the way she really loves him, and I think that love really make you do these crazy things. So that really can be a possibility.
Maybe her mom will talk some sense into her.
Girl, she don't listen to her mama. She was ready to go back. Her aunt said, "You ready to go back?" She said, "Mm-hmm."
I have one last question that'll help us wrap up this episode. Like, we just talked about what we think the ending could be, but what would be your ideal, like the perfect ending for you for this season? And then maybe we can like listen to this episode and then we'll see which one of us is right. Well, I guess no, maybe not, because perfect and right aren't the same thing. So maybe what we see as perfect might not be what Marodi sees as perfect. But for you, if you were Marodi today, how would you write the ending?
It's a good question.
That is a great question.
I would have.
You got it.
I would, number one, have Fa and Khalil divorce. Like this Fasanala, I would keep that. I would be like, yep, it's over. Fa can go and rebuild her own life, and Khalid can go deal with his crazy family on his
Period.
own.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
Yeah, I would keep that. I think for Sadiq and Awashir, I would have Awashir metamorph into like this super confident, super in your face woman who would put Sadiq in his place. I think because they already have kids, I'm not going to say that they should divorce, but I think she should show him what time it is so that he can respect her a little bit more. And also I think Awashir should beat Georgia's ass, excuse my French, one good time. I think, yeah, those are the primary things. Like those two couples for me are the crux of the show for me. Awashir and Sadiq and Fa and Khalil, excuse me.
What about Layla?
Layla, I think Layla should stay single, and that should show her that having a black heart, is not ever a good thing to do. So, I would keep Layla single, no more boyfriends for her, or she has boyfriends that just keep breaking her heart because the things that she's showing, it's giving she's not learning any lessons. And she has misplaced anger, like Adam was talking about earlier. Like she's mad at everybody except who she should be mad at. So that's what I would say. And then hopefully Nabu can respect Bakir a little bit more too, because poor Bakir. Amor ben respecti negu sayo.
Fode always plays those roles. He was like that too in the minute.
Yes, he really does. But honestly, though, I think he liked the Nyaka fighter in him. Like, and that's what just makes it 10 times worse.
No,
Like, yo, Nyaka fighter,
Nabu gay parfum bi mi spray mota.
Yeah, fact or not platform. First it was the what's again.
He'd be like,
yes,
Nabu, get me parfum bi. Get me parfum bi.
But yeah, Isa too, I like your scenarios. Definitely Halil and Fa, that can't be a thing. I think she opens up her crush or whatever, and hopefully I'm also with you where our share like finally stands on her own and maybe works with Fa, and then that keeps her busy and just confident, gives her some boost of confidence. I think Layla Cham gotta. I don't wish bad things on people. But goddamn it, something needs to happen to her. She needs to learn her lesson, and she's that kind of person where she don't just learn her lesson from like a regular just patting her back. Like you really got to do something damaging for her to learn this lesson. So let's just go ahead and do that for Layla Jam. Let's do that for Hadi Cham too because she out of control. Just she's so young, and then the fact that really all of this is actually we didn't talk about this, but she is the villain. Because she's the one who went to Babakar's house in the first place and did that. Supposedly, right? Or whoever did it. Whoever did it, that is the issue. But if it's Hadi Cham, definitely cancel her. I think Yuka Cham probably, you know what? Maybe Yuka Cham gotta die for them to learn all this lesson, for them to just reconcile. I don't know, y'all. It might have to happen.
Like my ending's a little bit.
If Yuka dies, oh, go ahead, Adam.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if Yuka dies, the whole family falls apart. As good or bad as he is, he's the only reason why they're still acting civilized.
That is true. He's the glue that's keeping it together. That's a lot of families.
Nope. You don't think they will come to their senses? You're right. They're not coming to their senses. These people are not the type of people that come to their senses. Okay, let's keep Yuga. I guess we'll go back and keep Yuga if it really got to stay. If the king got to stay, okay. Yeah, and I think that's it. Am I leaving out anybody? Maybe, yeah, Nabu need to respect Bakir. Sadiq and Giorgio, that's actually good for him. That's what he get. His nyada is very satanic. I hope he finds out and have to go back to our share. That would be interesting.
I don't want that to happen. Like you were talking about our share and Sadiq not getting a divorce because they have kids. Fuck the kids. Like they can get a divorce and our share can like be like, have a money, have her own house, have everything. And then Sadiq is just like, his safara is gonna be with the Nyare, who's now an hour, so he can like get his karma that way. And then Hadicham has her visa to Canada denied for her karma. And then what's her name?
Oh, that's
Layla.
good.
Babaka comes back. They don't get back together, but like he comes back to Senegal and marries somebody else, and she sees that. And then Fa and Khalil get divorced, and then Fa lives her best life, and then Khalil gets married to Mehdi, but like Mehdi realizes she don't like him, and then she gets a divorce from him, and then he's miserable. And then what else? And then Ibu Cham. Is Ibu Cham the one who's always reading books? Is that his name? Ibu Cham?
Yes,
Ibnu. Ibnu
Yeah,
finds
Ibnu.
himself a nice wife and lives his best life. Who am I missing? Bakir Cham marries a second wife. And have I covered all of the brothers?
She got it down packed. She breaking it down by the
Becomes
Bakir is
character.
responsible. Omar Cham becomes responsible. And
no,
then
hold on, Adam.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, Adam. Bakir is going to jail because remember in that first episode he was stealing gold from the bijouterie.
That's true, but I don't want him to go to jail. This is my perfect ending.
He need to go to jail. Bakir not gonna fight a
He's not gonna make it in jail, Isa too.
Bakir is not evil. Nabu Moko doesn't like me. He has good intentions. He's not the one that's always starting the drama. He gets looped into the mess because of Nabu. So I don't wish him no negative ending.
I guess I see that, but he also need to I'm the Khalifa, I'm Tower Cookie. Like that doesn't necessarily make you the Khalifa. You should be, but your actions don't make you that.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, he's definitely not living up to that role. His face is funny. I think I covered all of my bases. Yep.
Wait, what about guys? What about Lipen?
I was about to just say, Loki, I've
yes,
never
yes.
felt this hot chocolate. Yes, you literally took that right out of my mouth.
L'homme qui n'a jamais perdu sa valeur.
I love him, but I think he gets exposed because he needs to be exposed. But are they even going to care? Because
I thought he was gonna get Khadija pregnant.
That's a twist.
Oh.
And maybe she
men do
that.
that. Men do that when they realize they're getting maran.
Yes.
When they realize the girl's maraning.
Or I also like they found out about her relationship and they make her marry him. It should be miserable.
Oh yeah.
That's be miserable, yeah.
And the visa's denied to Canada, so she can't go.
Yes.
She can't go nowhere.
Slap the denial on top of that. I love it. I think all these people need a rude awakening. They need some life lessons. The only person I'm really keeping for right now is Mer Sukaina, which is Fa's mama. At least she knows what's going on. She said, my daughter is not going back until I hear a very good reason why she should come back.
Period. And I like that representation of her. Because, like she was saying that I'm not like the other mothers who be like, or something. I hate that phrase so much. That's so crazy to me.
I love
nice
that.
to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, they do that. It's like, how do you say that? What do you mean? Like, I need to know how my daughter is being treated in that household, and you're not showing that. Like, and I also love the fact that she was just like, who did y'all come because he sent y'all? Khalid sent y'all, or did y'all come because that's the right thing to do? Like she actually cares about her daughter's happiness and well-being. Like, I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, she's my favorite character.
It's a good representation because we often think that it's over, that's it. But there are ways for people to take care of you. Like Fa had a really good monologue when she was talking with her cousin, I think, that so if he is the one that came and asked for her hand, when things go wrong, he should also be the one to come and try to fix it. At the end of the day, they're really trying to treat her like she's some on clearance merchandise, and she's not. Give her some respect. Njugo Cham tamit toog foofu noonu rek di okay, I'm not gonna go on that. I just can't. I'm just so mad about everybody on this show.
I, yeah, I thought he was gonna have another heart attack right there. That scene was
Oh
intense.
yeah,
Whew.
that was pretty bad. I can't imagine the embarrassment they all must have felt. But alas, we shall see what happens in the next episode. Thank you guys for listening and entertaining us through this ramble that we just had. I think Baabel is one of those shows that definitely is getting people talking. So I must give Marodi their kudos on that. But like you said, Adam, they tend to not always follow through. So let's hope that for Baabel, the end of season 1 is as we would like, or at least is satisfactory and makes sense. At least let's have it be logical. La logique, the way that Ibn Cham would say it. Let's look for la logique and apply that.
I'm gonna give Marodi the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say they finally got it right because I'm gonna say yes. I believed in them to give us a spectacular finale. Yes.
Yalla bahna. Adam, do you have any final thoughts before we say goodbye to our listeners on this episode?
No, I think y'all said it all. We just hope that Marodi doesn't play in our faces, but then also to be thankful for what they've given us so far. I think there's a lot of lessons learned because in these series is how most of us connect back to Senegal and Senegalese culture. Like I learned a lot about this dynamic because I've never lived it. I never lived to Kurgumak, but I've seen a lot of things that's going to help me understand people who came out of that situation. So there's a lot of learnings that I think I could apply in my real life. So thank you, Marodi, for that, at least.
Yes, I can say that definitely I did not know half of these things could happen or is happening if that's happening to anyone. Kudos to you. I hope you get out of that situation. I hope we all learn from situations like this because I don't know, it's just making me rethink a lot.
No, it's definitely a lot, and like you guys both mentioned, Marodi, if nothing else, thank you for shedding light on this very pertinent issue. I think sometimes we think like, oh, it's 2023, nobody's living through that anymore. But there are very much people in Senegal right now who are living through these same situations, and even worse than Fa, the main character of Baabel. So thank you, Marodi, for giving us this masterpiece, if I can call it that, for us to watch, digest, enjoy, and talk about. And we look forward to the second half of all the episodes. And with that, we will say thank you as Joko to our Joko family. Thank you for listening. Thank you for riding with us throughout the last couple of seasons. And thank you for listening to this episode specifically. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and we will see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.